gosi anyị nke otu dịrị ebe a ọ na-enwe egwu Igbo ofu bụ egwu Igbo ọ ya akụ na bekee. So, Mr. Casey.
Is somebody in the house? Let me see your legs. Come on. Suma. This is how we do it in the house. If you know that the Lord has been to see you, let me see you wave your hands. That's right. I owe the devil no apology. Because this is the devil of the Lord that has given to me. That I must rejoice and be glad in it. Move it. That's right. If you have the hand, I want you to stand up. And let's turn to the glory of God. Come on. That's how we do it. That's right. That's right.
Our chief host, chairman, Igbo Cultural Association, Obi-Igbo Frankfurt, Chief Francis Emere, Ndi-Igbo na-akele gị ịtụrụ m nne gị ndewo. Anyị bụ ohere a na-akpọ Chief Kenneth Igbo, chairman Igbo Cultural Association, Manhattan. Chief Ilekanna from Hamburg. Onye atagoro ndị Igbo ahụhụ. Ọ chịgo ma community ke village ya. Chia ndị Igbo. Chia ihe niile. So ị na-eme ọtụ unu jisi ike na ọdịrị izu. Chief Ilekanna. Prọfesọ Anyanwụ nwanne anyị ji aga mba. Ejikwa m ohere ahụ na-akpọ nne anyị bidoro ihe a niile, so wee bido ihe a niile. Emechaa ihe a ga-akpọ ndị na-amahụ ga-ahụ o nwere ụtọ dị. Biko, anti anyị, mama anyị, grandma, Mrs. Onyegbule, biko dawa n'isi oche. Mrs. Onyegbule, ọwa ntị m na-anaghị eje egwu egwu. Inwere nsogbu n'embassy, nwee nsogbu anywhere, biko call on her. She's willing to help 24/7. Mrs. Onyebule, ka ebe ọ nọ. Onye Konaka ọ dịghị izi. Obugi Igbo Germany n'isi Konaka, Mrs. Onyebule. O sokwe na ndị anyị jiri lara abịrịa. Ana m akpọ on Engineer Onyele, Dr. Daniel Obani. Eji m ohere a na-akpọku na nwanne anyị nwoke onye nyere anyị ezigbo aka mgbe a na-ebido nye ebido nye ndị lara Nigeria tiketi. Mr. Emeka Nweke ka onye si eme ka ekwesị akpọ ya bịa n'isi oche ikele ụmụnne gị. Fly Africa. Gọvanọ Imo steeti nwetara leta mana ọ bịa nwụrụ mana o zitere mmadụ. Onye o zitere wụ Ambassador Mrs. Linda Anyanwụ. O nwekwara ihe ọsụ onye isi ala sọ ọ ga-agụrụ anyị. At this juncture, I'm calling on Chief Ajibola to please come and take seat. Chief Ajibola. He is a highly respected Yoruba man here in Frankfurt. On this juncture, I'm calling on Engineer Seb Udaj. His Royal Highness, he's a young man, his father just died. So, biko bilie n'ọtọ nwa anyị tinyere omenala Igbo ọ ga-eru anyị n'aka ala biko onye eze na-abata eze eme ya eze His Royal Highness Eze Stanley Ikechukwu Egbe Obiọha Ọfụneri Ndụwa Autonomous Community His Royal Highness Eze Stanley Ikechukwu Egbe Obiọha Ọfụneri Ndụwa Autonomous Community Isu Local Government Imo State. Onye eze birikwo. Onye eze na-ekele ndị isi oche njikwa ohere a na-akpọ Dr. and Mrs. Theodore Ojukwu. Mgbe ohere a na-akpọkwa nwanne anyị nwoke ụkọchukwu si Italy wee bata ebe a. Ana m akpọ ụkọchukwu Boni Doro ka ị bịa biko ịlara ịgwa ndị Italy ihe a na-eme. Biko Boni Doro ihe ọbụla a na-eme egwu Chineke ga-anọ ya na ya na ebe anyị nwere onye dịka anyị n'isi oche efego mmiri nsọ n'ebe a kwa otu o mere. Ndị Reverend Fathers niile n'ebe a anyị na-ekele ụlọ, Reverend Sisters niile nọ ebe a anyị ma n'ụlọ ndị anyị na-ekele ụlọ. Ndị Igbo niile si na ebe dị iche iche wee bịa anyị si ka anyị kelee ụlọ. Obi dị anyị ụtọ na ụlọ bịara na nke anyị taa. Nje ohere a na-akpọ Chairman Njọkụ, Chairman ndị esi biko bịa n'isi oche. Representative from SVT Minister, and they are here with that son. And I think the entourage is so large that the high table will not contain them. So please can you stand up for people to recognize you? You're seeing there is the son of Dantata. True one, not copy, not story. Oh, go on now, ihe ndị Igbo kpọkọrọ ebe ọ na wụ Madam Tiestra meet. So, kuna ka nwada nkọsa nọ n'etiti anyị ọ dịghị izu. Igbo nwere ihe niile. Igbo nwere ihe niile. Ihe a na-ekwu Ojukwu na onwe ya n'ebe a. O jere Igbo ozi n'ebe a. Eri ole m ga-agba ele m ga-ahapụ. Ihe a na-eme dị mkpa. Chief Ben Ụwakwe o jere Igbo ozi onwe ebe a na-emekwa na aga. Chief Ben Ụwakwe kelee ụmụnne gị Leader Manheim. Onye na-akpọghị ero iwe. Oche anọzi n'azụ kanopi ya.
Okay, Daddy. August, where I am. ga-adị ama na ga-echi anyị mmụọ na nke a
ọkwa na-aga n'enye ya n'enye ya
ijila anyị mmụọ ọ na-aba na-asị gị nwoke a na-akpụ elukwu na telivishọn ị na-asụ isi n'Igbo anya ka ogogo nne mgbe ahụ
ya gaziere gị nna ya Lugo ifugonu na ọgụnwa siwere ya na-agbọ ka obi si dị gị n'ụbọchị taa
obi dị m ụtọ nne ya na-akụ mụrụmụrụ Chief Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu Junior nwanne anyị ukwu Ojukwu na-ejere Igbo ozi onye ma maka ọ bụla n'Igbo na-alụ obi dị anyị ụtọ taa nne
ya gazie biko obi dị anyị ụtọ na ịnọ n'etiti anyị n'ụbọchị taa onye a na-akwakwanụ bụ nna gị na-asị na ọwụ onye gafere onye ọzọ anọchie ebe anyị ekele ka Chukwu onye nyere gị amara ije mgbe gbaa okporo ụzọ gba ụgbọelu ya nọ ya n'ụbọchị taa ka obi si dị gị n'ụbọchị taa
mgbe m nwetara ozi ọ nwere ihe dị etu a na-eme n'ọjọọ na agwara m na m ga-abịarịrị in fact ọ fọrọ m ọbụla ka anyị adị ime ike ụzọ okwu visa mana adị m so happy na daalụ
anyị na-ekele Chukwu onye mere ka nna gị bie ezigbo ndụ n'ihi na a sị na ihe eji echeta mmadụ bụ ọrụ ọma ọ rụrụ ya ma Igbo niile nọ n'ụwa niile were obi aṅụrị na-ekpere ya ekpere ka Chineke nata mkpụrụ obi ya na ndokwa ya bụ ezinụlọ gị hapụrụ wee bịa ebe a Chukwu ga-anọnyekwere ha otu isi hapụ ha ị ga-eme isi ha enweghị nsogbu ọbụla a ga-asịrị gị n'aha Jizọs na-ekwe esekporo m gị ya gazie biko obi dị gị ụtọ na ụmụ gị zuru n'ala Germany bụ ụmụ Igbo pụtara n'igwe ịkwanyere Ojukwu ugwu n'ụbọchị taa
ife ọ ga-abụ ka a na-eme anọ ife kwesịrị ekwesị anọ onye a ga-emere ka a na-eme otu anyị ji wee si mba anyị na Naịjirịa obodote kwesị ka anyị nọ ihe n'ụlọ unu mere ọfụma afụkọkwu mbụ si wee nọrọ ịfụnanya ọ dị mma isi n'ike
onye Royal Highness biko kelee n'ụmụ gị na
ya dịrị onye ọbụla mma
ihe ọbụla a na-eme a ga-akpọ Chineke ebidobe biko anyị kpee ekpecha ekpere awa ọjị onye nwụrụ n'ụwa onye chiri echichi ama mma chieftaincy title anọ m na o ruru 300 so onwe nke a na-eme ihe n'usoro biko I'm calling on Reverend Father Ikpeameze ka ọ bịa wefe anyị ka anyị na chi anyị nọrọ ka anyị mere ihe a na-aga Reverend Father Ikpeameze biko nọ na-ekwanyere Chineke ugwu onye ọbụla kpọ okwu ya kwupụgoro okwu ya n'aha Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ enyemaka anyị dị n'aha onye nwe anyị Chineke nna onye pụrụ m ihe niile onye ihe ọma niile si n'aka ya na-abịa anyị bụ ụmụ gị ndị Igbo Naịjirịa niile gbakọrọ ebe a taa ikele gị maka ihe ọma niile nke ijiri wee gọzie ala Igbo na Naịjirịa anyị na-ekele gị maka ndụ ọma nke i nyere nwanne anyị nwoke di m Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu anyị na-ekelekwa gị na ọ masịrị ka ịkpọrọ ya ka ọ lakwuru gị bụ onye kere ya dịka anyị na-eme emume a n'ụbọchị taa Chineke anyị na-ekele gị n'ihi na iduru anyị n'oge awa dị ugbu a anyị na-arịọ gị onye nwe anyị ka ị bịa gọzie mmadụ niile nọ ebe a taa gọzie ndị niile ga-esikwa ebe dị iche iche na-abịa gọzie na emume a ka anyị na-eme n'oge awa anyị na-arịọ gị ka gị onwe gị bụrụ onye isi oche ka gị onwe gị bụrụ onye nhazi biko ekwekwala ka mmụọ ọgba aghara mmụọ ndughasị bata n'ihe anyị na-eme n'ụbọchị taa kama kwee ka mmụọ gị duru anyị ka anyị wee mee emume a nke ọma ka ọ ga-abụ ka anyị site n'otu a wee na-enye aha nsọ gị ekele mgbe niile ka ihe ọma na ihe niile dị mma n'ụwa ijiri ka wee gọzie ụwa gọzie ndị Igbo gọzie ndị Naịjirịa ka o ruo anyị niile aka anyị nọkwa na-arịọ gị ọbụnadị ụmụnne anyị niile ndị a si n'ụzọ na-abịa ka ha bịarute n'udo gọzie mmiri gọzie mmanya gọzie ihe oriri nke ọbụla a ga-eri ebe a n'ụbọchị taa ka anyị si na-erite nna ahụ isi ike na ọdịmma ka anyị wee sota na-ebuli aha nsọ gị elu mgbe niile anyị rịọrọ nke a kwere na ha emezu ya karịa ka anyị si rịọ n'aha Jesu Kristi bụ onye nwe anyị n'afa Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ Ndi-Igbo si na na-ekwubido ọjọọ okwu. Ihe ọbụla ndị Igbo na-eme na-agbasa ọjị obidobe. So to make it authentic, jikwenu na onye nwere n'ụwa onye omenala chizuru echizu nwa afọ Igbo gbara ụkwụ n'Igbo ọjọọ abịago Israelis.
Igbo kwenu, bienu, zọnụ. Biko ọnwa eziokwu ihe anyị nọ na etode abụghị ihe anyị na ihe ọṅụ, but n'ụzọ nke ọzọ anyị ga-ewekwa ife ọṅụ because ọnwụ Ojukwu dịka ọnwụ Jizọs Kraịst. Ndị a na-ada afụbụ mbụ ọnwụ Ojukwu ekpokọla ncha niile ọnụ together, and ọjị eweta n'iru m ihe ọwa ọjị ndị Igbo ma ọjị as a symbol of unity. Anyị na-agọzi ọjị enwurugwu anyị na-agwa agara ya. So ọjị ndị Igbo na-akọwa data ọjị enweghị ụgwọ nwe ha aka, but ọ na-eji ije too much. So as a traditional leader, ruler, ana m ekele ụmụnne anyị niile ndị mmiri ndị Enugu steeti. Biko anyị na-agọzi ọjị a. Ana m ayọ Chineke nna aka eluigwe n'ala ihe ọwa ọjị ọwụ ya gụrụ osimiri ọjị a. Ana m ayọ ya ka o wuru aka ya dị nsọ wuru ifọ niile o ji achọ ndụ ma tinye ya n'ọjị a. Ọmụmụ, udo, ịdị n'otu. Ife ọla anyị chọrọ anyị ga-enweta ụmụnne anyị niile ndị bịara abịa, ndị si Naijiria abịa ma ndị nọ ebe a, anyị ga-anọ ebe a ga-achịkwa ebe atụ various destinations n'aha Jizọs. Ụmụ ndị nwaanyị ga-alọta di mụta nwa nwoke nwaanyị, ndị nwoke amụta nwaanyị mụta nwaanyị mụta nwoke mụta nwaanyị. Ife niile anyị na-achọ n'obodo anyị ga-enweta. Ife ọjọọ nọ n'obodo a ga-erite aka maka anyị ndị bịara abịa. Ana m ya Chineke nna lekwa ọjị ọwa ọjị udo ọjị ịhụnanya ka onye niile ahụ nwanne anyị nwoke wike mgbe a na-ekwu mgbe ọ dị ndụ prichin ahụ ọ na-epirichi mgbe ọ dị ndụ. Ana m asị onye nwe aka imezu ụlọ ihe niile ahụ pụta Igbo bata na mkpa obi anyị ka anyị na-ekwu mgbe niile ya udo ahụ ọ na-ekwu maka ndị Igbo ka anyị wepụ ihe gbasara sentiments among us na uru ndị ga-agọzi anyị ọjọọ site n'aha Jizọs Kraịst onwe anyị. Udo dịrị onye niile.
Ihe ahụ na-ekwu ihe dị mma ka agbapụgo n'egwu Igbo ka anyị nwere tụkwa n'aṅụrị. Colon, please. Colon. Cultural dance.
Ojukwu. Anyị na-achọ Ojukwu. Ndị Igbo Union kwuru ọ na-achọ Ojukwu. Obodo onye hụrụ ebe ọ nọ. Onye hụrụ Ojukwu. Obodo onye hụrụ ebe ọ nọ. Ojukwu is gone. We will see him on the last day. But we know that another Ojukwu will come up.
Gozul. Temas Gun. Oh, Neba, I can own. I can acquire Senator Chief Ben Obi Ojukwu. Oh, now special advisor to Nigerian president on inter-party. I can be senator and Ojukwu. Oh, yeah, Ojukwu. Oh, yeah, Ojukwu was the club. I want to acquire Chief Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu. Ndi-Igbo Bulumbu Junior. Ndi-Igbo Bulumbu nke bụ anyị na-akpọkarị ya gburugburu. So gburugburu anyị ekene gị. No. I na-ekenekwe chairman, or I salute the chairman of Ndi-Igbo Frankfurt, ndị anyị nọ Pepper, and all chairmen Ndi-Igbo si n'ebe dị iche iche wee bịa taa. From Berlin, wee na Freiburg, wee na Ulm, n'obodo ndị ọzọ dị iche iche, ma Wiesbaden na ndị otu ha. Ife anyị na-eme taa bụ omenala anyị gbapụ n'Igbo ka anyị chọrọ ime ndụ. Wee nwale ya, wee rute nna anyị ukwu bụ General Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu, dị Ndi-Igbo gburugburu, dike dị ọra mma, dike mba Nnewi. Onye ọbụla malite nna anyị ukwu bụ dị ezinụlọ ndị Igbo. Mgbe anyị nọ n'ilo, ọ nwere onye na-eme interview sị m kedu ibe ga-eji lote nna anyị ukwu bụ Ojukwu. Wee sị ala okwu amaka ibe ga-eji lote ka nkụ. Ọ nọ n'ọgụ afọ ka nwoke zọpụta anyị mgbe anyị nwere nnukwu nsogbu. Ife kasị ibe o mere anyị bụ mbọ ọ gbara na o jiri Igbo egwu egwu, o jiri eme biznes. Ife ọbụla nke ya ga-agba ebe ọ ebe a na-emeda ya akọ, ọ na-agba mbọ, ọ na-emere ya ọfụma. Ndị bịara abịa ga-asị kedu ndị bụ ndị Igbo? Ndị Igbo bụ ndị a marụ bụrụ mgbe ochie, bụrụ mgbe ndị ọcha bịara be anyị. Ba mara ndị Igbo ahụ ezo bụ ezo. Paasị mara ewere ike si n'oyibo na Igbos are a single people. Ọ nke a bụ ndị ọcha na-abụ ọgụ Paul and Joseph. Igbos are a single people in the sense that though they speak a number of different dialects, they occupy a continuous tract of territory and many features of social structure and culture in common. So ndị ọcha ma ndị anyị any introduction. Ife kasị anyị today bụ awa ndị anyị bụ gbogbo kedu ka anyị si eme taa. Onye asụsụ ajụjụ anyị bụ Igbo ga-ajụ ọnwa anyị. Ọnwụ nna anyị ugbu a kedu ife ọ nwere ike ime n'anyị? Nna anyị ugbu Ojukwu akwụgo yes ka ọ mụzara kedu ife anyị mụtara n'ife ọ mụzara anyị. Anyị ọbụ na Igbo Germany wee nọkọ ọrụ wee sị na afọ nna anyị ugwu tara amana n'iyi. Anyị ga-akọpụta taa wee lotegodi ya elotosisi ya wee chọọ ka e ga-esi wee fụ na nna anyị ukwu nke ndị ọcha na-akpọ immortalization. Ọnya mere na-esi mọtara a wee na-agwa Anambra steeti gọvanọ, Imo steeti gọvanọ, Enugu steeti gọvanọ, Abia steeti gọvanọ, Ebonyi steeti gọvanọ, Babiko n'obodo lụọ ebe a na-akpọ Odimegwu Ojukwu Cultural Center, Odimegwu Ojukwu Center. Ọ bụrụ enwekọta a ga-enwekwu gbamegbuo Odimegwu Ojukwu Foundation ebe ga-esi n'elote nna anyị ukwu. Ọ ka ndị ọcha si eme. Ebe a bụrụ ife ndị nkịtị ga-eme, ebe a ife ndị gọọmenti ga-etinye anya fụ na nna anyị ukwu nwere ụdịrị akwanyere ndị ugbu a. Anyị ọbụ ndị na Germany, ọ bụ na eme enye ọ ga-ata anyị ụtọ n'obi. Ọgwụ ka anyị ga-eme, anyị ga-enye aka fụ na emere ya. Ife ọzọ dị ka ibie bụ na asị na ogologo ụkwara n'ụka nwere. Ma n'ife kasị mkpa bụ ekele ka anyị nwere n'ebe ndị Igbo nọ si ebe niile wee bịa taa igosi na anyị bụ ndị Igbo fụrụ onwe anyị n'anya. Onye ọbụla na-abụ ife ọ na-eme wee gba moto si Berlin, si Frankfurt, si
tribal wee bịa ebe a taa anyị kelele unu onye a gosi na ndị Igbo bụrụ ọgbaba n'anya ndị be anyị akpọrọ okwu agbameche wee na-asị na Chukwu biko dube na gozie onye Igbo ọbụla dị n'obodo a ndị be anyị na-anụ n'ụlọ
ndewo ụlọ ihe niile a na-eme ebe a taa ihe niile ọ na-eme ọ sụrụ ya n'olu Igbo hapụ itinye ya oyibo ndị ọzọ ga-abịa ịgbara anyị egwu na side attraction mayan chairman ha nọ ya ka ọ kọwakene ihe a chọrọ ime ihe a mụnwa ama ihe side attraction cha-cha-cha-cha Igbo kwano cha-cha-cha Igbo kwano Iko Manheim nke m onye isi ha with side attraction ka a na-delegate to Ikemba, our hero. Ihe anyị na-achọ inye ụlọ ebe a bụ ihe ọpara dara ite ime because Iko Manheim nwe ọpara ndị Igbo na Germany anaghị akpọ ya adọ atụ m ụnụ were anya ụnụ lekiri because asụ ka onye na-eme ka ekwesị akụ ya anyị agaghị echefu eze gburugburu maka na ihe o mere ọwụ nwoke niile na-emeli ya so lee na anya hụrụ ihe Iko Manheim na-edelegate in the life of next eze gburugburu side attraction Igbo youth Manheim City they are coming in.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I say good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's afternoon right now, but by soldiers, it's always morning. Well, I am Morgan Edward, the commander of this parade today. And this parade is just like a tribute to our fallen hero. As you can see, these soldiers have been trained to ignore pains, trained in challenging terrains. And what will continue to see why I'm talking about that. I will start by introducing my troop. General Igbo. Yes, sir. General the Chief of General Staff. Pray! Adwaya! Pray! Pray! Turn! Pray! Pray! Turn! By the center! Mark! Time! Left! Left! Right! Left! 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 Right! Left! Right! Left! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Right! I remember when I was a soldier. 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 Remember when I was a soldier. I remember when I was a soldier. I remember when I was a soldier. I remember when I was a soldier. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, right. Can we come back? Left, left, left. If you have never seen Ikemba before, if you have never seen Ikemba before, if you have never seen Ikemba before, you will never, never be happy. Let's go. I've never seen Ikemba before. If you have never seen Ikemba before, if you have never seen Ikemba before, you will never, never be happy. Imena Ojukwu imena. Imena Ojukwu imena. Aka mesoro mmadụ ibe m gbalaga. Were ezigbo mmadụ esere gbalaga. Imena Ojukwu imena. Imena Ojukwu imena. Imena Ojukwu imena. Aka mesoro mmadụ ibe m gbalaga. Were ezigbo mmadụ esere gbalaga. Imena Ojukwu imena. Igbo
Ndi-Igbo nọ na mahadum.
General Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, CSC, PSS, CFA, Grand Commander of Federal Republic, Ikemba, the Gburugburu, the poster image of the most indestructible, one of the rising sun of Africa, Igbo. 7,000 soldiers formed up on parade. 15 wounded. 5 casualties. 1 missing in action. Parade. Come up ready for your inspection, sir.
Igbo nwere ihe niile. ihe a na-eme ihe gbasara nwere ịkwa ahụ ebube ga-adị onye ọ na-aga biko ndị guzo ọtọ ụlọ na blọk ndị nọ ha bịakwara okeshọn na biko anyị na ihe anyị na-eme ọwụrụ nke nọ n'ihu chọrọ ihe onye ọbụla guzo ọtọ biko echiche ma ọ bụrụ gị nọ n'azụ obi ọ ga-adị gị mma biko ka a kwakịrị n'onwe anyị ụnụ na-atọ azụ ọnọdụ ala biko ka ndị nọ n'azụ na-ahụ ihe megere. Please, if you're standing, sit down, please.
Or they go to the
Sit
back.
down.
They can go to the back.
Or go to the back if you wish to stand. Go to the back. If you want to stand, go to the back. Yes. I will leave my own on. You have to go to the back. I will come in. I'm not going to go back to my temple.
Standard, ladies! Return! Equal man how we must time! Bye! Equal man how we must time! By the center! Mark time! Left, right! Left, right! Left!
Now, go back.
Right,
Onye Community, Frankfurt. And the man worked with Binding Brewery, Frankfurt. And for your information, he gave us 30 crates of beer to support the Ojukwu event. Clap for him, please. Clap for him. Yes. Igbo Cultural Organization, Mannheim.
Kunia,
ọ gacha ebe ala onye ha anyị okwu ndụmọdụ kwụrụ anyị so olu onye anyị ji eje mba ojere Igbo na-achọ ịgwa anyị okwu ojere Igbo
Igbo mma mmanụ Igbo ekele m unu It is my pleasure to stand before you on this August occasion and share a few thoughts on one of the most distinguished black men of this millennium. But I must start from the very beginning. My thanks go to the Igbo Community Union, the organizers of this unique event. I thank particularly Chief Jome Ndi-Igbo, the chairman of this organizing committee, who contacted me and liaised with me in order to make my attendance of this celebration a reality. May I seize this opportunity on behalf of all Igbos at home and in diaspora to thank Mr. President, Dr. Ebele Jonathan, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, for providing the enabling environment at which we gave our hero a befitting national and international burial. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about Ojukwu, for the tightness of my schedule, there is no way I would have made time to be here. But this is a man that has changed the face of history in Nigeria and in Africa. The man who has been acclaimed by all and sundry as indeed the greatest man that has passed through Nigeria in recent times. For where Ojukwu a nobody, there is no way I would have made out time from my busy schedule to be here in Frankfurt. I will crave your indulgence and take a short trip into contemporary history. Dean Emeka Ojukwu was a personal friend of Biafra. I repeat, Dean Emeka Ojukwu was a personal friend of mine. He was, for me, a mentor, a leader, a teacher, and a motivator of unequal personality. It was a friendship that lasted till he breathed his last. It is a friendship whose memory will last until it is also my time to answer the eternal call. I learned from the great man an imperishable lesson that man must be his brother's keeper. Man must be his neighbor's keeper. When Dean Chukwuemeka Ojukwu died, Nigerians and indeed observers of Nigeria proclaimed with one voice that a truly gifted leader had passed. Ojukwu was given a national and international burial, something rare for the departed.
who were never presidents of country. And like torrents, the tributes poured in, if only because charity should always begin at home. I crave your indulgence to present first a part of the tribute which I paid on learning of the death of the great Ikemba. How are the mighty fallen? Ikemba Nnewi, my brother, friend, confidant, and leader, you are gone. The news of your death came to me as a big shock. Just a few days after I visited you in your London hospital on my way to the United States of America in November 2011. On that visit, though you were not the same effervescent, forceful, and ebullient Ikemba that I have known and associated with for over 25 years, I, however, saw the determination in you to win the battle against death. Painfully, that was not to be. You were born into. Despite the best of education you had in both Nigeria and England, you opted for a civil service job in remote communities of Nigeria. Ikemba, the man of history. From young age in King's College, Lagos, he made history. At age 14, a white man slapped a student, a classmate of Ikemba in King's College. And Ikemba felt it was a challenge on the black man. Ikemba slapped the white man. That is Ikemba against injustice. You don't do anything that is unacceptable to humanity in his presence, he will stand up and fight against it. That is the man we have got. No doubt, Ikemba, you were a unique military officer and commander, an astute civil administrator and political leader magnificus. As a member of the Constitutional Conference, you were part of the group that put in place the 6 geopolitical zones as political re-engineering to ensure and enthrone equity, justice, and fair play. Your death now, therefore, has robbed the country of one of the very few Nigerians who represent the true value of leadership and patriotism. Nigeria has lost a true patriot. Alas, the center of gravity and equilibrium of the Igbo nation, Nigerian political power game, is gone. With Ojukwu's death, we have lost a great scholar, a philosopher, great historian, a political clearinghouse east of the Niger, a soldier's soldier. On that occasion, he said to me, "Ben, what do we do?" I said, "Sir, what do you want to do?" He said, "I will give these people a fight." And I said to him, "If you are ready to give them a fight, I will stand." He came behind us and carried that car from that spot to the next spot. I said to Ikemba in the car, I said, "Ikemba, are you sure we are safe?" He laughed and said, "I'm always." That was when I was very at that time. "I'm always. These are my people." And when we got to the end of Kano, into his bedroom. Straight into his bedroom. And said to me that this bed belongs to both himself and Eric. The trip on which we went to Kano. We went to Kano to launch his book because I am involved. You know, in Kano, the Kano people are very political. The moment they spotted Ikemba in the Mercedes car sent to us by his very, very good friend, Emir of Kano, Alhaji Ado Bayero, the Kano people started shouting from that moment, Ojukwu, Ojukwu, Ojukwu. That is Ojukwu. But they said Ojukwu. And they all trooped and lifted the Mercedes car. They lifted the Mercedes car off the ground where Ikemba and I were sitting and carried that car from that spot to the Emir's palace. I said to Ikemba in the car, I said, Ikemba, are you sure we are safe? He laughed and said, Amaluweze. That was when I was bearing that title name, Amaluweze. These are my people. And when we got to the Emir of Kano, the Emir of Kano took us straight into his bedroom. Straight into his bedroom. And said to me that this bed belonged to both himself and Emir. And after about 30 minutes, the Emir of Kano said, I should excuse them so that they can recall the good old days. When we were in church, you heard when Professor Monsignor Obiora Ike said, Ikemba also enjoyed good things. Emir of Kano also enjoyed good things. I also remember our visit to my matrimonial home. I took him to Warri, which is my maternal home, where my mother comes from and where my wife comes from. And we went to visit the Olu of Warri. Warri was shaking to his foundation for the 3 days we stayed in Warri. If you came to the hotel, where our host, Chijewes Ayomike, the leader, or the spiritual leader of the Warri people, kept us, the guest house. Every second of our stay, there were well over 2,000 people. Just staying outside to catch a glimpse of this river. We went, of course, to Aba. And you need to go to Aba with the Ojukwu. You will be shocked to see what the Aba people normally does. We went to Jos. We went to Ilorin. I traveled the whole country. What I'm saying here, I'm happy his son is here. His beloved son is here. My association with Ikemba is such that there are so many things that I cannot say. Here I have Atiku Abubakar. But let me leave that. I also have Chinua Achebe. I just want to read one aspect of Chinua Achebe's tribute. He says, and I quote, I have called Ojukwu a giant of a man. And I know there are people who are inclined to challenge the phrase. Even so, I am confident that in depth, his stature and the scale of his achievements will rise above the mark or skepticism of this tradition. Likewise, he was a giant. He says, when embattled Southeasterners demanded self-determination, Ojukwu displayed true greatness by accepting and quickly rising to the challenges of leadership. In proclaiming his people's choice to live as a separate national entity called Biafra, he bravely entered the territory that was for the most part uncharted. True, he had read history at Oxford, but he had no little or no history of secession within the African continent to go by. He and Biafra have no models. Let me end these tributes with that of his great friend and writer, Frederick Foster. Monsago of the audience, please, in the church. Frederick Foster, and I want you to listen carefully. I quote Frederick. He said, he was rich. He had his father's fortune. He had a mansion in Lagos, many properties there, and assured income. Yet, he stayed. He stayed to try to represent you, to speak your cause, to negotiate on your behalf, and when that failed, to fight with you. That is why he is eager by you, the man who speaks for the Igbo. So I, who was his friend, said to you, when you speak of him, when you speak of Ezigbo, talk softly, Diliwanyo. And when you write of him, carve his name in brass. Frederick Foster. My dear brothers and sisters, on behalf of the burial committee, of which I played a very significant role, let me place on record our great appreciation to Governor Peter Obi of Anambra State. He, as chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, mobilized the governors, Governor Rocha Okorocha of Igbo, Governor Sullivan Chime of Enugu, Governor Theodore Oji of Abia, Governor Marcus Elechi of Ebonyi, Governor Rotimi Amechi of Rivers, Governor Levi Moke of Cross Rivers, Governor Gospel Akpabio of Akwa Ibom, Governor Emmanuel Oduala of Delta State, and all of these governors came out and gave full support. Full support. They supported through him, Governor Obi, when he was in hospital. They supported during the burial. My dear brothers and sisters, that unity was unity of the whole Eastern region. The whole Eastern region, which Emeka Ojukwu governed as Eastern region and later on as Biafra. The committee, with the tacit support of Governor Peter Obi, we planned a 5-star burial for Emeka Ojukwu. 5-star, you know, Manigela Hotel, that's Hotel, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. The 5-star will take a time. But Emeka Ojukwu just 7-star burial arrangement. Finally, My dear brothers and sisters, if you know the man of Ojukwu, you will know what we have lost and what we are missing as a people.
Atmosphere now. I am calling on Chief Emeka Ojukwu anyị na-ama ebe a ka ọ gwazie anyị okwu maka ndị Igbo ọ na-adị ize gbapụta anyị ọbụrụ. Biko Chief Emeka Ojukwu Junior.
Igbo ekele m unu.
Carbon copy.
I'm a bit confused. I happened to Nigeria yesterday. I'm not Germany, Canada. But I doesn't remember. Now, you're back in Igbo. Ekugo, so many things about my father. Remember, repeat again. When they can Senator Ojukwu here, Senator Ben, you see, normally no men and nine, but man can do whatever we know. Actually, me, you know, just a slight different idea of Ndi-Igbo. Ndi-Igbo was my father. He was all these other things that have been talked about, written about. There are even movies about it. But to us, to his children, to his family, he was our father. And it has been difficult to take his passing, as I know it has been for everybody. For us, Ndi-Igbo was a man who enjoyed his family, who liked to crack jokes, who played pranks on us. He was a complicated person. At the same time, he taught me how to play tennis, table tennis, taught me how to swim. On the other hand, he also taught me how to handle weapons, how to maintain weapons, so that if peace could not reign and I needed to defend, I would know what to do. So it was a unique experience growing up as his son, because of the type of person he was. Leaders from across the board, from different countries, would come. And as a child, I would sit at his feet on the floor. Of course, I could not participate in the discussions. I was too young, but you gain a lot by listening to such people as Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Felix Ufo-Boigny, Leopold Sedar Senghor, etc., etc. You learned a lot. When Ndi-Igbo died, I mean, we knew who our father was and what he had done. When he passed away, the outpouring of love, the respect that came worldwide was really humbling. It was a wonderful experience. I've traveled all over the place, occasions such as these, and really never ceases to amaze me the amount of people that show up and the dedication, the feeling, the love that his passing away, his life really has generated. Like I said, he was my father and he taught us many things. People ask, why this? Why is this reaction? Journalists ask me, people ask me, and I say to them quite simply, Ndi-Igbo was a man of the people. He was somebody who lived for the external, not for the internal. When you came to Nnewi during the funeral, people expected mansions, huge edifices and what have you. They saw a very simple villa, nothing ostentatious. That's who he was. He's somebody who gave of himself. And really, that is what he left behind for us. People talk about, after the passing of their father, is there issues with what was left behind and what. The only thing Ezigbo left behind in the family was his good name. The fact that good people such as yourselves, can come here, take your time in busy schedules to celebrate his life. The fact that I can knock almost on any door, certainly in Nigeria, across Africa, and the door will be opened. If I go in there and I have nothing good to say, I'll get nothing out of it, but the door will be open. And why? Not because of anything I've done, but because of my father. And I will be forever proud of him. One thing I will ask, Ndi-Igbo, all of us here, this event, his passing, that has brought us all together, as it has today. Let's hold on to it. If there are divisions amongst us, as there will be, let's take this opportunity to join together and move forward together. That's what he would have wanted. I always tell everybody who cares to listen, Ezigbo lived a selfless life. He cared about his brother. He was his brother's keeper. There are many examples throughout his life. He was against injustice. Let's all of us look for the Ikemba in us. Whatever sphere of life, whatever it is that we're doing, it doesn't have to be politics, it doesn't have to be the military. Let's look for that thing in us that says, think more about your neighbor and less of yourself. And perhaps if we can, hold on to that, we can ensure that his legacy lives on. I want to say a couple of other things. There are some concrete things I think can be done in Nigeria. One, a day of remembrance for Ezigbo. An official day in our calendar where all Nigerians will remember him. Something like that would be great, and we're pushing for it, and we need your support. As others have mentioned, some sort of edifice, a memorial, some place where people can go and learn the history, our history, learn about this man that changed, this man who without him, a lot of us here may not be alive, quite frankly. And then finally, perhaps introducing into the literature in our schools, the real history of Nigeria, the real history of Biafra, so that what we are learning is not propaganda, but the truth. I think if we start with these three, we've made a good start. Clearly, I cannot come up here without thanking so many people. First of all, you who are here, for such a wonderful welcome. Wonderful, wonderful welcome. I was amazed at what I saw. I'm not sure I want to go back on Monday. Although my visa, I don't think they didn't give me much of a stay here. But I will come back if you will have me, because the welcome was tremendous. Let me start by thanking our president, President Goodluck Jonathan. You know, Ezigbo was, like I said, somebody who saw into the future, and somebody who God bestowed a lot of intelligence, even smart enough to pass away under the right leadership in Nigeria. Because quite frankly, if he had passed away under some of the other folks who had led us, things may not have turned out the way it did. But he passed away when President Goodluck Jonathan was at the helm of affairs. He passed away when Ojukwu was in charge of the army, and so on and so forth. Many other people that I could name. when Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State, when Rochas Okorocha was governor of Imo State, and so on and so forth. So he had the good sense to pass away at the right time. So we're thankful for the President. We're thankful to his amiable wife, Her Excellency the First Lady, the Bishop Johnson. And as I mentioned, Peter Obi, who really was a son to my father. Somebody whose hand he raised up and said, take the mantle of leadership for Anambra State. And Anambra listened first and the second time. Peter Obi really stood by the family during my father's illness. It was a long, protracted illness. It was a difficult time for us. So I want you to help me in thanking him anytime you see him. He did what a son would do for a father. And I, for one, would never, ever forget what he did. He has supported this family throughout. During the funeral, as the senator said, the leadership of all the governors, not just the Southeast and South-South, but also Lagos, the Niger State, other places. So we thank His Excellency, Governor Peter Obi, and the other governors. I also want to thank our party, our great party, the APGA. It is one unifying presence that we really should stand behind as Ndi-Igbo. It's important, and as Igbo always felt so, that we have a voice clearly in what is going on, because this is our country, Nigeria is our country. And if we stand behind and unify behind APGA, we can be a force at the negotiating table. Otherwise, we'll get left behind over and over again. We really have to get together in his absence and push that agenda forward. Let me thank Senator Ben Obi, who is here. He was a member of the committee for my father's funeral. Also, Senator Ojukwu, who could not attend. Senator Aboti and my uncle, Professor ABC Mosu. These are people who really went above and beyond. Some of us even got sick after all the efforts. I mean, they didn't sleep. They put all they had in it to make the funeral what it was. And truly it was the greatest Nigeria I'd ever seen. And we have all of you to thank. I want to quickly thank the military leadership, the press, the clergy, all of whom gave us tremendous support. And the last but not least, the traditional rulers who were there with us throughout this time. Ndi-Igbo, Germany, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chief Joe, man, thank you. Brother, thank you, sir. Francis Ewere, Iwala Kenneth, Paul Keran, Edward Abba, Solomon Okoro, Philip Wandi, and then Anthony Ajibola, who I just met today for the first time. Thank you, all of you who felt a need to do something to honor my father. As a family, we will be forever grateful. But again, let me just repeat, if there's one thing you can do, is we should all work together for his legacy, for what he left behind. He set a benchmark for us to follow. Let's not forget that. Let's work towards that. So let's look for that Ikemba inside of us. Let's look for that selflessness, for that tirelessness, for that dedication, uprightness. Let's fight injustice. Let's stand for what is right. Let's work together to build a better country for ourselves. But we have to do it together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ndi-Igbo Gburugburu Junior. Unu Tony Ndi-Igbo Gburugburu Junior. Ọ na-ekwu okwu onye na-ahụghị Ojukwu bifo ọ dị ka ọ ya ma na-ekwu o wee were ya anyị ekenekarị. We are calling on the lady representing the Imo State Governor to give us the message from Imo State Governor, Lady Ambassador Linda Anyanwu.
I present this address from Imo State Government. On behalf of Engineer Amarebu, the Special Assistant to the Governor of Imo State in Igbo's affair. I thank the chairman of this occasion, Your Excellencies, royal fathers and spiritual fathers, as well as other dignitaries present here today. I thank also the organizers for this hard work and commitment towards the preparation for this day, which has turned to be a very huge success. His Excellency, the People's Governor, Governor of Imo State, the Owele of Igbo land, has done Ndi-Igbo proud by immortalizing the hero in Imo State. Just like our brother said here, the Chief Joke, that we should form a center in these 5 states. Imo State has gone ahead of doing that. In Imo State today, we have Ojukwu Center, Heroes Square. I humbly invite Ndi-Igbo in diaspora to come and see things by themselves in Imo State. And I encourage other governors of the 5 states to follow suit. I feel honored standing before you today to talk about a man very dear to my heart, the unforgettable Igbo hero, Dean Chukwuemeka Odimebu Ojukwu. Igbo Gburugburu was popular both in Nigeria and diaspora, but he was more famous and popular after he left to the great beyond. The emotions, TV, radio, internet write-ups are clear testimonies that he is celebrated more than many past dead head of states. Igbo land and Nigeria have produced many heroes. But Ikemba Ojukwu, the one in whose honor we are gathered here today, is the unforgettable like no other. Ikemba Ojukwu hated injustice, could not tolerate it at all. When circumstances thrust upon him to lead Biafra because of the problems of Ndi-Igbo in northern Nigeria, he ignored his father's words to save the lives of Ndi-Igbo. A man of ideas, a great organizer of men and resources. When Civil War was started in July 6, 1967, contrary to the notion that Biafra will be crushed within days, the war lasted for 30 long months. This is a testimony to the man of great resilience, ingenuity, and a man with ability to achieve what is ordinarily considered to be impossible. Now that Boko Haram are killing the Igbos in their thousands, many people are of option that it would not have been this bad if Ojukwu were to be alive. As an Igbo leader, Ojukwu would have strongly condemned the senseless and unwarranted attack on Igbo land, which has led to the deaths of several lives, losses of unquantifiable properties, and displacement of people, hundreds of thousands of innocent Ndi-Igbo from northern Nigeria. Chai, the lion of Ndi-Igbo, would have roared his disapproval of this madness, this inhuman action against Ndi-Igbo. He would have called for immediate action to take against this evil act, and he would have provided a shoulder for crying Igbo victims to lean on. That was what made him our unforgettable hero. Now that Ojukwu is no more, Ndi-Igbo should arise, join the Igbo Unit Summit coming up by November at Ohaneze Secretariat, and let us rebuild our Igbo land. To all Nigerians, we are calling them to give Nigeria president of Igbo extraction a chance to appease Ojukwu's soul. With this write-up, I thank all of you for listening, and may Almighty God grant everyone journey mercy back home. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we brought the Igbos here together because we suffer the same fate. We came from Nigeria as Biafrans to this country. If you count everything,
just like our big representatives from Nigeria have told us, a word is enough for the wise. They have told us everything we need to know. And what I am very, very happy about is, if you look at the man sitting over there, if you look at him very well, you know that the Ikemba is still with us today. Please, an applause.
Catholic youth, please, the stage is yours. Will you take over?
That's what happened.